And that was similar to Doug in the town too. You know, his neighborhood was changing all around him, and it was painful to him to watch.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
Yeah. So, okay. Dope Thief. Very, very brutal, chaotic, but yet there's moments of just humanity. And for you, I think, a lot of your projects that you've worked on, you bring out the human side, the gritty side, the brutal side, and it's like a roller coaster ride. So I was wondering, like, how do you go about just trying to balance these things out?
Okay, so it's an interesting question. I mean, they are human. The characters are very human to me. I just work on them long enough that I feel like I know them. I feel like they're family, and then I try to treat everybody like their family. So there's a kind of there's a layer of sympathy I have for everybody. Everybody, even the worst people, I at least try to understand their decision-making process and getting to it. And I do tons of writing that doesn't even wind up in anything, just what their day's like, a journal entry, a whole life, the whole life they've had, a timeline of things. By that point, I know them so well, it's like I'm writing about, my brother or my sister.
And I think what I really like about like a lot of your projects, like you bring the city to life, whether it's Boston in the town or let's say Gotham in the Batman, and here with Philadelphia. So what was that like, just trying to just like bringing this, it's like another character to life?
Yeah, it is. Well, place is character, and it's kind of like, especially when these guys are really from Philly. Like, there's a line in episode 4 where Teresa says to Ray, like, I have to go through this because you're a fugitive that's scared to leave Philly. And it's really like they're just so from there that it's a part of who they are. And for them to leave would be like, cutting off an arm. And that was similar to Doug in the town too. His neighborhood was changing all around him, and it was painful to him to watch. And I love that. I love how setting informs character. You or I, we're very much based on where we came from, and it's hard to ever lose it entirely.
Yeah. And I think the thing that really, for me at least, like caught my eye, because I'm Vietnamese American. So seeing a son in it, it's like, this storyline here. So what was that like, just trying to craft that?
Well, Dustin was incredible to work with because Dustin helped me with all the translation and everything. I don't know if you've got to how far you've gotten, but there's a lot of Vietnamese in the show, and I worked really hard with him. It was great to get to collaborate and to just try to do a Vietnamese family that had grown up on the South Side, made it, moved out of the city, still kept all the same values. Grandma lives with them. I won't give too much away because there's a lot about that family, but I just really also wanted to depict him as what he was, which is a really tough businessman who really figured out how to navigate a world where he'd been treated as an outsider for a long time, and a way for him to really plant his roots in there and really take care of himself and his family. So I love that character. I love where that character went. And I was really happy to get to work so closely with Dustin.
Oh, yeah. And Peter, I think with Philadelphia being a central character in this, was there anything about it, like when you're on the set, that just stood out for you?
Philly's there. It's in your face all the time. If you're available, if you're like giving Philly time, it's going to come and it's going to express itself. You can't help it. And I loved shooting places where the people would come over and just, tell me everything they thought. Basically, that's what Philly does. And you get kind of addicted to Philadelphia because you don't ever have to guess where anybody's coming from. Like everybody wears their hearts on their sleeve. Everybody's really direct. But there's a kind of honesty to it that worked so well for this story, and it worked so well for these characters.
That's all the time I have. Peter, just want to say thank you for doing the interview, and I can't wait for everyone else to check it out when it comes out.
Same. Thank you so much. Great talking to you.
All right. Yeah, same here. Take care.